and welcome to a new video. I am coming at you today with two videos in one. That is right, two in one. Essentially, I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag made by Ariel Bassett. So I will link her and all of that sort of stuff down below. But I am also going to be telling you about the books that I hope to finish 2020 with. So it's kind of like a TBR video plus also like answering a few fun bookish questions about the books I want to read now or something like that, but you will see because I'm going to now answer the first question. So the first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish? Need to finish? I don't know, but want to finish? Probably. There are two. One is a Moustache by S Hareesh. This book, I think I'm like 69% way into, and I kind of stopped it because I didn't feel like it was the book for me at that point in time, and I was getting into a slump, so I stopped. But I might pick that up. The book is essentially about a man, a Dalit man, and it is a fantastical world in which not a fantastical world, there's a lot of magical realism in it, wherein he is in Kerala and essentially he in a village, this company, like this drama company, decides to put on a play and they fall short of one person, so they get this man Vavachan to come be a part of the play, and for that he has to like grow a mustache or like trim his mustache in a particular way, and people get really scared of the mustache because and just a lot of other stuff happens, but essentially it's about the mustache and this guy Babachan and a lot of the stuff that happens, and I haven't finished reading it. Okay, so I plan to read it because I just have 30% more and it won the JCB prize. So I'm just like, okay, you know what? Like, let me just complete it. Moving on to the other book that I want to read, and that is A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain. This is a book that I was trying to read as part of a video that I was hoping to do, which I never ended up doing, which was reading like a Leo. And if you're confused by that, I know. But essentially, the queen of booktube, who's Books and Lala, Kayla, started this really cool thing last year, I think, or this year, I don't even know. Time is what is time? Which was like reading like an Aries. So she read books that were recommended to people who are Aries, and then Elena, who did this as well, and I think she did like reading like a Cancer. So then I was like, oh, maybe I should do reading like a Leo, and I had a couple of books picked out, and I did actually read a few of them, but then I never did the video within that month, so I was like, fuck it. But one of those books which I put down was A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, and this is a really interesting, fun book, but I kind of left it halfway because it got a little repetitive. But essentially what it is what the book says is that this guy gets transported to like King Arthur's court, and he just uses all of his information that he knows about like technology and the future, like 300 years of like technology, to become sort of like Merlin's biggest nemesis, basically becomes a wizard. And it's just fun. Like, it's actually really good fun. I don't know why I stopped it at that point of time, but I plan to read it and I plan to finish it. So those are my answers. The second question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And I don't know. So okay, here's the thing. One, the time of autumn is like over, way over, even though and the second bit is that in India or like in Bombay, we don't have autumn. We have only two seasons, that is hot or raining. Okay, like that. That's what Bombay is. So like no autumnal book. But at the end of the year, I do like reading a lot of romance, because like I like to reinforce to myself that I am very single and very alone at the end of the year. So I just like, I don't know, I do it to myself, but like I feel nice and cozy but also sad. I don't know, it's just like a thing. I'm also doing like a video coming up where I'm going to be reading a lot of like romance novels, which I will talk to you about. But yeah, that's that's what I do. So I like to read a lot of romance novels. So that is my answer. The third question is there a new release you're still waiting for? So not really in terms of books that have already been released technically, but as we know, books in India get released much later, or like not get released at all. Like some international releases just don't even like come to India, so we have to buy them at very very high prices, which is what I did with these Violent Delights. But Books Trunk, which is this very cool bookshop, has gotten me a copy and they're shipping it to me now, so I'm very excited for it. But this is essentially a which is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, is a book which is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but in the 1920s in Shanghai, but with like warring clans. So another book that I was really excited to read is Plain Bad Heroines by Emily Danforth. I liked her book, which is The Miseducation of Cameron Post. But I've heard sort of like okay-ish reviews about it, so now I'm not too sure whether I want to read it, and it's not even released in India yet, so I'm just kind of like, whenever it comes, I'll see if it's on sale or something. The fourth question is, what are the 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? That it's going to be an entire part to this, so I will tell you just in a while, okay? And the fifth question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? And okay, I'm going to spoil the book TBR bit and tell you that there is a book called Lovely War by Julie Berry, which I think could be a favorite of the year, because I've been wanting to read it literally since like, I don't know, I heard about it in June or May or something, and I just kept putting it off for various reasons, mostly readathons, because it didn't fit into the readathon like prompts. And I'm finally going to read it this month, because I'm just like, hook or by crook, I am going to read it. So yeah, that's what's going to happen, and I think that it could become a favorite, though I don't think it can like shake my number 1, but it could possibly be in like top 5 at least. And the 6th question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2021? Yes, of course. I am weirdly a type B person with like type A traits. That is that I am a very relaxed person, but I love my Excel sheets. So I have already started planning, yes. I also have a lot of videos coming, so that's exciting. So stay tuned for that. But now let's head on to the TBR. So, I have already mentioned Lovely War by Julie Berry, which is a book that I really, really want to read because it just sounds freaking fascinating, as I've told you. Then, what I did was I also went through all of my TBR videos, which I will link for you in case you want to watch them, I don't know, again or something. But basically, what I did was I chose books that I thought were like repeated more than once. If they were repeated more than once, I made a rule that I have to read it in this month, like as a punishment, but not really, just like if I mention more than once, then I'm assuming I really want to read them, right? And the first book is Midnight Children by Salman Rushdie. This, of course, I mentioned in my classics as well as my Asian readathon TBR. The premise of Midnight Children is essentially that when the clock struck 12 and India and Pakistan got their independence during the partition of 1947, the children who were born between the first hour of like 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock have special powers, and this one kid, or like who's now grown up, is now looking for the other people who have those special powers as well, and there's something to do with it. I haven't really looked too much into it, but amazing. I've heard such good things about it, and I can't wait to read it. And the second book that was mentioned twice is 2001 Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke, I think. And this was again mentioned in my classics TBR, as well as I think my like September TBR or something like that. But this is the cult classic about people who go into space and then some weird shit happens. That's basically it. The next three books are going to be romance novels that I read, and I told you that I will be filming myself reading them because I love reading romance novels and then making myself feel lonely, as I've said. So the books that I've chosen for this is Spoiler Alert, which is about I don't really know what these books are about, so I'm not really going to tell you. I'm just going to link them down below and you can Google them yourself, okay? Because I don't really like to know, read the back of like a romance novel because I feel like they kind of spoil you, and I just like to go into the blind. But it is Spoiler Alert, Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella, the newest Sophie Kinsella book. I'm so excited about that. And This Year Next Time, which is supposed to be like a New Year-y sort of second chance romance, maybe sort of situation. So I'm excited about that as well. And then the last three books that I want to read is Women Dreaming by Salma. This is a book that has just been translated from Tamil to English by Meena Kandaswamy, who is a fantastic writer, and I've heard great things about this book. It's basically about these women in a village and their dreams, and that's all I basically know, but I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it, and I just cannot wait to read it. The next book that I want to read is Ratno Dholi by Dhumketu, and this is a collection of short stories translated from Gujarati to English, and I've heard again really good things about it, and I haven't really read too many Gujarati translated books, so that is something that I'm really interested to read. And the third one is Untamed by Glennon Doyle, because I just it's a, I don't really know, but it's a non-fiction women empowerment sort of book sort of thing, and I felt like maybe that would be a good choice to read after I feel really alone and sad after all of the romance novels that I plan to read, and feel lonely and sad, but also happy, but also lonely, but also sad, but also you know what I mean. Anyway, so that is it. Do let me know what books you plan to read to end your 2020 with. I am very excited to know. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.